One reason why our farmers in Africa, in Nigeria, why we don't succeed, why our farmers remain peasant farmers, remain small producing farmers, remain at the level where they are. I mean, we continue to feed hand to mouth year in, year out. The reason is because farming is no business to them. I mean, even when you meet a farmer, sometimes in the village, and you say, what do you do? He said, nothing. I don't do anything. Like, what's your occupation? He said, nothing. I don't have an occupation. No, I mean, even the person who understands the occupation is your means of livelihood, they will tell you, I don't have an occupation. I happened to meet a guy, I think that was last month. We're doing a transaction and he was supposed to sign and complete his personal detail. He said, and I said, what's your, he left the occupation place open. And I was like, what's your occupation? Why don't you put it in so that it's not empty? You obviously have an occupation, you're not jobless. He said, no, I don't have an occupation. I just came back from Lagos and I'm just doing farming for now. I don't have an occupation. I said, your occupation? Farming is an occupation. He said, no, it's not his occupation. That he's still looking for something to do, that he doesn't have an occupation. You see, that's the problem. Farmers think that farming is not an occupation. Farmers think that farming is maybe something you just do at the meantime to pass time. And that is the unfortunate thing about our African agriculture. We need to wake up and realize that farming is business. The only time people begin to make profit from farming is when we realize that farming is business. It's no longer when you farm just to feed your family. You have to farm to earn money. You have to farm to make money, because there's money in farming, right? And you see, a lot of cultural barriers, beliefs that people hold on to more than their livelihoods. You come to some places in the southeastern Nigeria where they still practice push following. Push following. They leave the piece of land to regrow the trees and replenish the nutrients. It's not like they have so vast amount of land that they can be using at the moment, but they just believe they have to leave it to regrow the trees. And I was asking a farmer somewhere, and she said, if we cut all the trees just to farm with tractor, just to expand our farm, just to make money, how do we get firewood when the trees are gone? That was funny, and I was asking her, I said, now the people in the city who have no farms, who grow no trees, how do they source for fuel? Because when she mentioned firewood, she was referring to fuel, source of fuel. Because the rural people depend on the wood fuel. So and that is something that our farmers, the mindset that should be taken away from our farmers as quick as possible. Even when interventions get to the farmers must be made to realize that this is not just about feeding, it's about succeeding in the business of farming. The interventions are other people's way, government or non-government people's ways of investing in their business. And the return these people will expect is just for them to succeed. But if you come back every year and they're still looking for another intervention, I mean, it's embarrassing. If you give somebody a grant to start a business, next year he's still looking for a grant, and another year he's still looking for a grant, who's going to be happy about that? Nobody. So I think if you have a farmer as a friend in the village, it's mostly those in the village, but those in the cities, they've realized that farming is business. Many of them have. They might not just have the skills or know what to do to grow their businesses, to make it what it should be, but they've realized that they can actually succeed by farming. And here's me telling all the people in the village, you out there, if you have a plot of land, if you have 2, if you have 3, if you have 4, if you have 5, if you have 6, you have 7, you have 8, it's time for you to realize you've just opened a business. And it's up to you to grow that business. Stop waiting for governments. Stop waiting for somebody that will come and donate, politicians or people who will come and help you. Don't feel helpless. Don't be in the position of begging. A farmer shouldn't be begging. A farmer should be the one people are begging. Because if you refuse to sell, people will not eat. So, start small, grow it, make it big. And that's the beauty of farming. It's only agriculture, it's only in agriculture. The only business you can start without investing any money at all. The only business you can begin without putting in money at all and succeed and become a millionaire. I mean, you start it without putting in money. I didn't say you will succeed without putting in money anyway. But I'm saying you can start the business without putting in a dime, even 1 naira. In terms of money, raw cash. It's agriculture. It's agriculture. And you agree that any other business will require money. I mean, you can take your father's land. You can beg somebody to give you a plot of land, a plot of empty land, uncultivated land. It's possible. You can beg somebody to let you farm at his backyard. You can beg your friend who has an empty plot he just purchased that he's not building on it yet to let you use it to plant vegetables. You can, and when you get that, let's say for cassava, for instance, you can just meet a neighbor cassava farmer and say, please cut me some stems, let me plant, and they can give it to you free. And you can go there and till the land yourself if you don't have money. If you don't have money, of course, you have strength to till the land, and from there you have a farm. And if you have tilled the land and planted your cassava and weed it, and after 9 months you harvest your cassava, you have money. And if you wish to invest that one so as to expand, it's now up to you. And the same thing goes for many of the crops. But people are still looking for money. I'm looking for money to go into agriculture. Go into agriculture small first. When you see the sweetness, you can start looking for money. By then, you also realize that you don't need to look for money. Because what you need is opportunities, not the money. And in fact, when you come into the business, the opportunities introduce themselves to you. Did you get me? I say when you come into agriculture properly and you begin to do it well, opportunities introduce themselves to you. You don't go looking for them. They introduce them. Okay, I am market. I'm available at Kogi State. You can access me through this. This one say I am inputs. I'm available at, and that's how it works. So, but if you see yourself looking for money to go into agriculture, you're obviously trying the wrong approach. Yeah, guys, thank you for today. Have a beautiful day ahead.